3 ways to save up for retirement if you don't have a 401k available to you through the workplace. I've got those ideas and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. What's your tax shelter strategy? It's a big deal as part of your overall comprehensive financial plan, looking at how all 6 areas of your financial life fit together, what types of accounts are available for you to fund, what are the tax benefits of doing so, and what makes the most sense for your overall financial situation. Well, it's convenient. It's convenient when you have a 401k. You can pay yourself first, love that phrase, where before you receive your net paycheck that you then live on and budget on, you've got dollars being sent to your future self, to your retired self, going downstream, and in addition, giving you some sort of tax benefit, whether that's pre-tax today or you're paying the tax today, but all the growth is going to be tax-free out there in the future. So very convenient to have a 401k, but what if you don't? What if you work for an employer that doesn't offer a 401k or a 403b? And you might say, well, that's relatively few, and it is. However, well, what are the circumstances? Because it's very possible you either work for a small employer that doesn't have a 401k plan because they can be costly or administratively cumbersome. Now, the IRS or the government has come up with all sorts of tax incentives, and they're really trying to lower this speed bump, this hurdle for making 401ks really efficient through a PEP or tax incentives to help offset the costs or whatever. So I think the 401k is going to become more common for small employers, but maybe not there yet, and certainly not to all size employers. What if you're semi-retired? What if you're working part-time and maybe you retired from your career where you were eligible for the 401k and now you're just working part-time and getting some hours in, but you don't work enough to be eligible for the 401k, but you still want to save up? And what if you're self-employed? Or what if you've got the side hustle sort of thing? What are your options then to save up for retirement if you don't have a 401k? Well, it's still your retirement. So whether your employer offers a retirement plan or not, funding and contributing the right amount is still critical. And it's not going to be as convenient, but it's still critical and it's still important. So first thing, you're obviously going to want to work with your certified financial planner to figure out what are the right types of accounts available to you, how much should you be contributing, okay, and then ensure that that fits within your financial plan. This is why I love financial planning. You might say this is purely a tax question. If I don't have a 401k available, what are my other options? That's it's squarely within the tax planning area. But you can't look at just that. If you're not also looking at your cash flow, which is your present financial position, who cares? Who cares what's available if you don't have the cash flow to fund it? You also can't look at this in isolation from your retirement goals, because I could tell you what the limits are, and I'm going to, but if your retirement plan doesn't require that you contribute the maximum amount or up to these limits, then you should at least know that and either say, no, I'm overfunding retirement intentionally to give myself more flexibility, or no, I actually just want to fund what I need to mathematically. Certainly it's an investment decision as well. How should you structure the investments within each of these? So guys, this decision and so many others sits right at the center of all 6 areas of your financial life. To make a great decision, you've got to look at how those 6 areas intersect. All right, so with that banter out of the way, what are the 3 options that you have if you don't have a 401k available to you at work? Well, the first one is the IRA or the Roth IRA. And I think we're just about to the point where we can flip-flop and say it's either the Roth IRA or the IRA. Because if you're not contributing to a 401k, it's likely that your working side income or your income isn't so high where you're into the 24% bracket or something like that. Because if you were working for a small employer where your income was well into the 24% bracket, my guess is that the individuals that are making the decisions about should we have a 401k or not are also in those same income levels, and they have a very strong incentive to get a 401k in place so that they can defer that income from those high tax brackets. So it seems more likely that if you don't have a 401k, the first thought should be Roth IRA, but just know IRA is available too. there's nothing that would prevent you. As long as you've got earned income, you can contribute to an IRA or Roth, and you're going to work with your CFP to determine whether you need the deduction of the traditional IRA, or you don't need the deduction today, and those dollars you want growing tax-free for you. So contribution limit is up to 100% of what you earn, or $6,500 for 2023 plus $1,000 if you're age 50 or older. That's going up to $7,000 in 2024 plus $1,000 if you're age 50 or older. So it's 100% of what you earn up to that limit. So if you're working part-time or whatever and you're only making $3,000, your contribution limit to the IRA is $3,000. Roth IRA is $3,000. They share that. You can't put $3,000 in each. They share that same limit. Most likely, if you're looking to fund retirement, you're making well above that. So know that if your total income exceeds the Roth IRA phase-out levels, which married filing jointly in 2023 is $218,000. If your income's above that, then you're not able to do the Roth. You could still do the IRA. You could still. If you don't have a 401k available to you at work, no matter how high your income is, as long as you or your spouse don't have a 401k at work, you can contribute to an IRA and deduct it. So that's the first place I would look. If you don't have a 401k, I'd look at that IRA or Roth and see, again, within your retirement plan, within your cash flow, within the 6 areas of your financial life, how much you should be funding and which of those you should be funding. Beyond that, sort of the next tax shelter that I would consider for retirement is your HSA. And not everyone is eligible for an HSA, and not everyone thinks of their HSA as a retirement tool, but here's why I would bring that up. If you're in this situation, likely I think there's a good chance that the HSA or HSA eligible high deductible health plans have grown in popularity, and if you're self-employed or if your company doesn't offer a 401k, then it's likely they may not also offer health insurance benefits. And that means you are free to go to the marketplace and select your own health insurance policy. And with that freedom, I would encourage you, both from a cost standpoint, but also from a tax flexibility and tax planning standpoint, to find an option that's HSA eligible, okay? Once you have that HSA eligible high deductible health plan, that then allows you, doesn't require, it allows you to open and make contributions to a health savings account. Health savings account, get these questions all the time, anytime I talk about the HSA. That is not a use it or lose it. This is your money, it's a bank account, okay? So it's not that you gotta put the money in, then you gotta spend it. That would void this entire strategy. This is a bank account similar to an IRA or Roth IRA, where you contribute to it and get a tax benefit. All the activity in there is tax sheltered, and then there's certain qualifications on using that money, otherwise you get slapped on the wrist from a tax standpoint. The HSA is the trifecta of tax benefits. Your contribution in, pre-tax. The activity, while it's in the account, tax sheltered. The withdrawal from that HSA, if it's for qualifying medical expenses now or in the future, comes out tax-free. Nothing else in the tax code has that trifecta of tax benefits. Therefore, if you don't have a 401k available to you through your employer, and maybe you need to contribute more towards retirement than just maximizing that Roth or that IRA, consider shifting your approach with your HSA and treating it as a long-term retirement vehicle. In that way, you're funding it, but then not using it. You're probably, if you've got the right cash flow plan and reserves in place where you wouldn't need to touch it in an emergency, then you could even consider investing your HSA and having it work just like a 401k. It just gives you more ability to contribute. In 2024, the maximum you can contribute to an HSA, $4,150 for an individual, a little bit less than that for 2023. You have up until April 15 to contribute for 2023. Married filing, or I'd say family coverage for HSA for 2024, $8,300 is your maximum, a little bit less than that if you're funding for 2023. And then the final option, I'm going to share two of them because I told you I've got 3 ideas for you. If you're self-employed or it's side hustle income, and that's why you don't have a 401k available to you, then third option I would consider is the SEP IRA. These are going in no particular order, but the SEP IRA, see if you're eligible for that, and you could contribute up to 25% of your net income. They're also rolling out and making available soon the SEP Roth IRA, which is, thank goodness, there's really has been nothing stopping them. That's not a big step for them to make that available, so that should be available soon. Legally, it's allowed. They just got to be able to facilitate it now. So if you're self-employed, I would consider funding a SEP. That's your third idea. If you're not self-employed and you've just got regular W-2 wages, no 401k available to you, you're maximizing your Roth, you're maximizing your HSA, or there isn't one available, then your last option to save up for your retirement is a non-tax sheltered account. It's a non-IRA. That could just be an individual account, or if you're married, a joint account. No limits on how much you can save up into there, and no limits on what you can use the money for. Just know there's no tax sheltering. So you don't get a tax benefit on your contribution. All the dividends, interest, capital gains, that all land on your tax return whenever you have that activity. And so no restrictions, but also no tax benefits either. So which one of those fits for you, or which ones of those fit for you, or do you have others that you should consider? Again, this decision right at the epicenter of all 6 areas of your financial life. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well. Or send us an email, info@Korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.